Hello everyone, it's Eddie the Chump coming back with another video, and today's issue or topic is freedom, and this is in part inspired by the tragic shootings that happened in America over the last week, and the issues that they raised. Now obviously I'm European, so I'm English, and I have a different perspective than Americans might. So I'm going to give it as straight as I can. I'm going to talk as plainly and as straight as I can. Obviously, just a word of caution, I don't make money from my videos, so don't accuse me of exploiting a tragedy. I want to talk about the philosophical issues that something like this raises. Now, quick note about the gameplay before I get into the meat of the subject. It's hardcore kill confirmed, loving hardcore at the moment. It's actually not as campy as core is, which is a very strange thing to say. And if you've got bad hit detection and bad lag, hardcore to a large extent gets around that, which is why I've been playing it. But obviously I'll come back with more core gameplay and stuff. Right, okay, so freedom. And specifically in the context of gun control. Okay, so to us Europeans, the very idea that a civilian can own automatic assault rifles, can own it's specifically in Britain's case that you can own handguns for personal use with a permit or whatever. It's kind of, it's not abhorrent, but it's unusual, because we had a school shooting by a loner type man in a school in Dunblane, which is where Andy Murray, the tennis player, is from, and he was there that day, which is weird, but it's true. So yeah, after that happened in Britain, handguns were made illegal to own for personal use. Our police, you may know this, but British police officers that walk the streets aren't armed. They carry pepper spray, but they don't carry firearms. And guns are much less a part of our culture in general than America. And we haven't had a school shooting since then, and that was over 15 years ago. And principally I want to talk about how that impacts my freedom, in inverted commas. Now, we need to be reasonable when it comes to this subject. There are those that are I would call extremists, who say that any intervention in your private life by the state is like George Orwell's 1984. And although I am very wary of the state taking an active role in private citizens' lives, I think that to be overly dramatic like that actually doesn't help anyone. In fact, it makes the problem worse. So here's my point of view. When something like this happens, we have to look at it rationally and not emotionally, and say, rationally, if those firearms weren't available and couldn't be bought by, say, the gunman's mum, in this case, in America, then that wouldn't have happened. Now, he was obviously mentally ill, and might have done harm to others in another way. But the sheer volume of human life and human cost was facilitated by the availability of I believe it was a Bushmaster assault rifle. Okay. Now, how we decide what to do about this should be by consensus. Okay, so I'm taking myself out of my British context and saying I'm an American in this case. We the people would decide that actually that is too high a cost for the freedom to carry an assault rifle. That's not the state intervening, that's us intervening. Okay, so if there was what's called a referendum, whereby people got to vote and have their decision put forward to Congress, or however legislation is passed in America, I don't actually know. Fairly ignorant about that. But if it was a referendum and people could vote, then it's not the state intervening, and it's not what libertarian freedom fighters might decry as something Orwellian, because it would be the people who made the decision based on evidence, based on morality as well. I don't think it's moral. I don't think you can morally defend that type of gun ownership or gun availability. Now, obviously, there will be lobbying groups for firearms in America. Everything is to do with the dollar to a certain extent when it comes to public policy. But I think that morally, you can't really defend it. You can't defend the cost of human life for being the price of freedom. I think that you have to look at it rationally. Those are just my thoughts. As a European, it's very different for us because we don't live in that culture at all. Like that, if the same were to happen here, and it did, then it was immediate. The government was a left-wing government. Okay, it was I'd say left-wing. It was a centre Labour Party. Had a mandate from the people to say this kind of thing can't go on. It's completely irrational to have people be able to buy. In that case, it was Beretta 92Fs, 2 Beretta 92F handguns. Obviously, if you know anything about guns, carry a large magazine, so he was able to kill a lot more children. And yeah, they had a mandate from the people to stop the sale of handguns, and it never happened again. And no one in Britain feels any less free. I can't speak for everyone in Britain, but I can certainly speak for myself. I don't feel any less free. The most important freedom, the best counter-argument to anyone that argues for freedom in that way, in a hyperbolic way, is that the most important freedom is freedom of the mind and freedom of what to think. If you've never read 1984, trust me, go and read it, you'll find that out. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please subscribe if you liked it. Go to my channel, there's my Twitter, that I do stream on Twitch. Go and follow, that would be lovely. Thanks very much.